Hey guys, this is Kevin at ChristianPhotoshops.com, and today we're going to be doing a brand new tutorial, and this one is going to be on how to create a heart shape out of dust. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the picture I'm going to use is actually on our website. If you go to ChristianPhotoshops.com and then click on free stock images, you can download any of we got hundreds of free images there. You can download any of them and play with them and practice. But the picture we're going to use today is this one right here. Now, this is just a picture of my wife. She's holding the Bible, and then we got some flashes, and we took pictures of dust. This is actually, I think this is baby powder that's flying through the air. So we got some really cool pictures of baby powder just flying through the air, and we got this one, and it looks fine. We could just use this picture. There's nothing wrong with it, but I want to show you how to take this dust and make it to a shape, specifically a heart shape. So what we're going to do is, let's clean up the layer. First of all, let me show you what I'm going to do. So we're going to take this dust, and then we're going to make it come out of the Bible, and it's going to kind of make a heart shape, kind of like that. That's kind of the idea right there. So the first thing I want to do is I want to just kind of clean the picture up. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit. We need more room to work with. So that we can draw the heart. So I just need to bring the whole picture down just a little bit. And then up here, obviously we have some problems with the duplicate layers of dust. So I'm just going to take a black brush, and I'm just going to paint on top of this. The whole background is solid black, so I'm just going to paint some black up here and just kind of clean that up. Get rid of that hard edge. There we go. So that's all I did, was just clean up the dust there so we don't have a nice hard edge at the top. And let's flatten that. So this is the picture we're going to use, and we're going to do all of our work on this picture. Now, the first thing we want to do if we want to draw a heart is we want to create a heart picture above it, so we just have a guide of what to do. So go to your custom shapes over here on the left. Just click this button and get your custom shape. And Photoshop's got several brushes, several shapes you can use. A heart is one of them. So we're going to do that, and we can just make it a red heart would be fine. And you got to figure out what size you want it, where you want it, stuff like that. But I think about maybe about right there would look pretty good. So we'll just stick it right there. Now this is just a guide. This won't be in the final picture. So I'm just going to make that invisible for now. But what we're going to do is we're going to fill this shape with dust. And there's multiple ways you can do that. I'm just going to show you one way to do that today. You don't want to draw every single dust particle with a brush. That would take forever to do that. Because there's thousands, maybe millions of little particles in here, and that would just take forever. So what we want to do is we want to make a custom brush. So there's multiple ways to do that too, but let me just show you how I make a custom brush. So I go to my original layer, and I take the lasso tool, and I'm just going to draw a little lasso around a pretty interesting part of the dust. Maybe about right there. Once I have it circled, I'm going to just copy that. So just Control C, and I'm going to get a whole brand new layer and then paste that in there. So that's what we just cut out. I just cut out this thing right here. I just pasted it in a new file. Okay, so the way custom brushes work is it takes everything that's black and it makes that the brush, and everything that's white would be invisible. So to make a custom brush, we actually have to invert it. So do Control I. There you go. And so this is what the brush would actually look like. Now, there are some problems here. You see on the edges here, they're really rough because we just did a lasso tool. So you got really sharp edges, and it doesn't make a lot of sense for dust. Dust doesn't have sharp edges. So all I'm going to do is take a white brush, just a regular white brush. I'm just going to kind of clean up these little edges because it needs to be softer. So wherever you see those hard edges on your selection, just kind of get rid of those, because that's not what dust would really look like. Okay. So that looks good there. I'm just going to paint white in some random spots. That way it's not quite as dark. All right, so once you have it the way you like it, just flatten that whole thing and then go to Edit and do Define Brush Preset. And then we'll just call it Dust Brush. There you go. Now, go back to your original file. Oops. Now you've got a brand new brush. If you go down to your brush panel, this is the brush. We just created it. If you painted it in white, that's what it would look like. It would look like that right there. So that's, see that thing we just cut out? That's what it is. So I'm going to do a little bit of adjustments to that brush. I'm going to go to my brush panel, and then I'm going to go to my shape dynamics, change the angle jitter all the way to 100%. That way, every time it paints, it goes in a different direction. Then I'm also going to go to transfer and check that. Make your flow jitter 100% and your opacity jitter 100%. That way, it's lighter and darker in different spots. Okay, that looks good. All right, now, also we want to change the color. That dust is not a pure white. It's kind of like a blue color. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select this color in here, maybe like right in there. It's just like a bluish gray, about right there. Make it just a little bit brighter. Okay, that looks good. So we got like a bluish gray color going on here. So now we're ready to start drawing. Now where do we draw? We draw in the heart shape. So make a new layer on top of the heart, and you can call it, we'll call it Dust Heart. How's that? So what you want to do is you want to take your brush that you just created, and we're just going to paint inside of that heart, and it's hard to see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that heart layer. I'm going to change that to black, not black. We'll change it to dark blue, just so we can see it better. So on your dust heart layer, just go around the heart, and you can go outside the edges. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But try to stay mostly within the edges of that heart. And you can change your size. You can go up bigger or smaller, and just you don't want to fill it in solid or anything like that. But you do want to kind of follow that shape of the heart. And now I'm going to make it a little bit brighter in some spots. So I'm going to do a little bit brighter up here. And then I'm going to make it a little bit darker down here. But you do want to stay in that heart shape as much as you can. Now once you're happy with how it looks, you can always go onto your heart layer, make that invisible, see what it looks like. And we're getting there. We're getting there. So let's keep painting just a little bit more. Let's get a little bit brighter. And we'll get some over here too. Let's see how that looks. All right, we're getting there. That looks really good so far. We'll make it a little bit smaller. Make sure I get right on that edge. And then we're going to go down here and just kind of bring a nice little stream of dust coming straight from the Bible up to this heart. Let's see how that looks. All right, that looks pretty good, just like that. All right, last finishing touches. We'll make a new layer on top of it, change that blend mode to soft light, and we're going to change it to pure white. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that same brush and just kind of add some little highlights up here, right on top of the heart. Right up here. Yeah, that looks good. And then I'm going to change it to almost black, like a dark gray. And then I'm going to add some shadows down in here. So the soft light just kind of darkens it and brightens it in certain spots. Get some shadows going down in here too. All right, there you go. So in like 9.5 minutes, we just made a heart shape using this picture. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you learned something from it. If you do it on your own, I'd love to see it. Share it with me. But check back for more tutorials later. And thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks, guys.